You guys, I am so excited. We have Oriana Plus Size from
Hey,
WAAAAA in the house. Thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to have you on. I found you online and I loved the way that you showed up online, your online presence. You're a plus size queen, and you're a stand for normalizing bigger bodies. You're all about promoting body positivity and sharing that plus size love. And that's
oh,
what I gravitated to when I found you, because my whole life I've struggled with being plus size, being big, and just not being the societal norm kind of thing in this world.
mm,
So when I found you, I was like, yeah, she looks like me. She's what I want to be like, and yeah, just have that body positivity. And I've only just recently learned to accept myself and accept my body in the way that
mm.
I am. But I love what you do. I love the way you show up. I know you're helping so many amazing women and plus size queens out there. And I needed to have you on this podcast. And I love all the mahi that you do. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you so much, Liz. E mo mona bona se ile biinga malefaksa ile to mo le na yavano. First and foremost, just want to give thanks to God for this opportunity. Secondly, I just want to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that I'm on, the Bulu, Wajak people, the Noongar people. Just paying my respect to their past elders and emerging, and just the beautiful people of this land, and the land that you're also on, understanding you're in Melbourne. But
So,
thank
so
you
I
so
love
much for having me. You are amazing. Again, I saw you online. I saw you through a competition, I think, from one of the girls, giving away sunnies, and it was like a few years ago. And you've got an amazing brand that's evolved into a podcast, into inspiring other women, not only just your business, but with your life and self love and things like that. So, a massive congratulations to you too, sis.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's get into it. So, for anybody that doesn't know you, introduce yourself. Tell us all about you.
All right. Well, it's your girl Oriana Plus Size from WAAAAA. My name's Oriana. I'm 36 years of age. I am a proud Samoan and part Tahitian, Polynesian, baddie. No. Based here in Perth, Bulu, in WA. Not a big islander community here, but we are here. I have a beautiful partner, Trish, who we've been together for just over 2 years. We're based here in the city. I'm a full-time business banker during the day. And in spare time, I really get involved with my Instagram, social media, TikTok, hopefully YouTube one day. But yeah, I really want to pursue my passion, which is plus size, Polynesian, pride, yeah, our LGBTQIA plus community. Yeah, that's what just I'm really passionate and stand for.
Nice. I love that so much. And you also have Brown Boss Baddies,
Yes,
which is, you helping, I guess, and supporting, promoting our Polynesian women or Polynesian people in
yeah.
business. So I love that so much as well. I love everything that you stand for. I'd love for you to share about your childhood and how you were
Yeah,
raised, how you grew up, and all of that.
of course. In my childhood, I am an only girl. I have three brothers, and I'm the eldest. We were raised in Wellington, in New Zealand, and childhood was amazing. Your cousins are your first best friends, grew up through the church, doing White Sunday, singing in the choir, doing solos and, being in plays. And I absolutely loved that. And that was my real first time on kind of like a public setting, having to perform or sing or dance in church. And that goes for a lot of Pacific Islanders churches. a really big part of who we are and our Christianity. Um, but yeah, lots of cousins. In primary school, my mum actually took us to a school in Karori. Now, this school is predominantly a white school. So when I got there, I think there was probably maybe 700 students. It was a huge school, it was a huge transition for us, but it was a lot closer to where my mum was studying at the time. Um, but that kind of showed me that I was different. I was bigger. I was brown. My skin was different. My hair was different. My eyes were different. And that's when I kind of knew that I don't really fit in this school. Like I just came from a school in the suburbs where everyone was a Polynesian, in Māori, bigger, understood that we eat lots or come from very little and have to share food and things like that. But coming to this predominantly white school was a real eye opener for myself because it was more so, all right, I'm different. I have to find myself, and no one is going to take this away from me. Even if I am, I'm not small, I'm not white, I'm not blonde, I'm not white. This is where I have to make a difference, and this is where I have to really represent and stand for myself. So pretty much from then, I really jumped into self discovery, self identity because I was so different. Yeah, we then ended up at a college, Wellington East Girls College, represent if you're listening. And that's when I really got into, hanging out with the sisters because that's where all the brown box baddies were at that school. So yeah, in my childhood, my primary school really played a big part of who I am today.
That's crazy from such a young age. That like, how old would you say that you were at the age where you realized like, hey, like I'm different?
Really young, like yeah, but 9 or 10 years old.
True. You're very confident when you show up online. I see a lot of confidence in everything that you do, and I'd love to know, like, where does that confidence come from? Like, is it something you've always had, something that you've learned? How did that come about?
I think for me, confidence is a big part of my personal values. Um, I feel like the confidence in me will help others, and that's doing God's work as well. Um, the confidence that I have comes from self belief, comes from feeling alone. Like I mentioned at my school, I really had to show up for myself. I had to kind of, you know, be strong, and strength and confidence come together. And I wanted to be that person. So that really drives me as part of my values to represent, not just for me, but for others who may not be as confident as I am, but would take a little part of it and, or have their self belief to think, oh my gosh, she looks like me. She's just like me. I can too wear whatever I want, or a bikini, for example. So yeah, everyone helps me with my confidence, and whether it's negative or positive, that's something that I will always try and be to represent for those who don't have a voice as well.
Have you always had body positivity as well? Is it something that you've kind of built together, or something you've had to learn as well? How has that been?
Body positivity for me comes down to your self-worth, or my self-worth. Am I going to let anyone else tell me what to wear? Or am I going to let anyone else show me that I have to look a certain way? And I think from a young age, I really expressed body positivity by being different. I remember going to my mom's like church thing, and I'd just rock up in like a mini, not well, like a skirt. Like I was really different in a fashionable sense, and I really wanted to make a statement, and I really wanted to let people know I don't care. I don't care what you say about what I'm wearing. I'm going to wear it. And, I'm really thankful to my parents for allowing me to create charisma and be really enthusiastic about my own personality. You know, my dad always said, "You're such a colourful personality." It's from a young age, and you know, my mum would come home and think like, "Oh, I bought you this lime green blazer. Do you think you'll like it?" And I just embraced it. I was like, "I love it, mum!" Like, so you know, really acknowledge my parents for allowing me to be that person at such a young age and not restricting me from things I wear. And, you know, we went to a family vacation in Rarotonga, and I was walking around the house in my bikini, and, you know, and my parents are just like, "Oh, you know, that's just Oriana, that's just the norms." And like my sister-in-law's friend was there, and she was just like, "How is she walking around like that? Like, you know, like how is she walking around in a bikini in front of your parents, in front of your brothers or whatever?" Um, and she was just like, "Oh, that's just Oriana. Like, I just dare to be different. I'm me, and I don't go by anyone else's rule books." Um, and yeah, that's kind of where the body positivity came in, and just not defining what you wear by your size, but just doing it with what you love and who you are.
Yeah, I love that you said like it comes back a lot to that self worth, like
Mm,
knowing who you are, what you stand for, everything
yeah.
behind you, knowing your values. You talked about personal values,
Mm,
and all that kind of stuff. So it's beautiful to see um, that like where you came from and how that came about, and that you kept going, like it was like, this is me, I am me. Another thing I'd love to talk about is your journey and being a part of the LGBTQIA plus community,
yeah.
and how that's been with you being Polynesian as well,
Mm,
and yeah, everything. So cover that for us.
thanks. Yeah. Being a part of that LGBTQIA plus community, it's been a real blessing in disguise. I think back when I was kind of, you know, exposed to different people and different love and different kind of sexualities and identities. It wasn't a shock. Like I wasn't like, "Oh my gosh, there's two girls, you know, there's two boys holding hands and things like that." So from a young age, you know, being exposed to seeing, you know, whakawheners and drag shows and things like that, it was just something that I just embraced and accepted. So being a part of this, um, you know, I don't think I was an ally. Like I'm not, I don't feel like I was an ally. I just felt like I was part of the community itself. And it wasn't until my partner and I got together where I really understood the challenges that come with being a part of this community. So I'm all for people should marry who they want to marry. People should love who they want to love. When we got into this relationship and saying and hearing, you know, marriage equality and things like that, that really that broke my heart, thinking that there are people out there, there are laws out there that would stop us from being together. So when I felt that heartbreak in my heart, I just really knew that this is a fight that I want to be a part of. And it's really important because there's not a lot of Pacific Islanders out there in the same fight or voicing that they are in the same fight. Um, so yeah, I really strive to, you know, bring to Instagram and my social media platform the different events that are available, the helplines that are available, because, you know, we're losing so many young, beautiful people to suicide. We're losing people to drugs and alcohol and all the bad things because they're not being accepted by their families or their friends or society itself. And that comes down to also educating our parents or, you know, educating our families, because for me personally, we have to marry the two. You've got your strong Pacific Island Christian family, and then you've got the LGBT community. So somehow we have to marry them together to move forward together. And that's something that I'm driving through Oriana Plus Size and also my at the bank through my full time job.
Oh, nice. Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How has, speaking on that, like, how has your family been with that? Because you talk about growing up in church
Mm,
and Christian, and,
yeah.
your parents sound like they're very supportive. So
Mm,
was it like a shock to them, or were they just like, that's just it's normal? Like, what was
yeah.
it like?
My parents, when I first told them that about my relationship, they were very just like, "What?" They're really like, "How? What do you mean?" They were quite shocked. It did take a night for them to kind of realize after I said, "Look, everything I was looking for in a man, work, Christian values, family, culture, all that jazz, I found in my partner,
Mm,
and then some, like, and when they understood that, and they looked and they looked at me and just said, "Look, we understand." And that comes down, we've got our Christian values, we've got our cultural values, but that really came down to family values and what my parents stand for. And, no one gets left behind. I didn't expect them to accept my, my relationship. I did expect them to understand, and that's exactly what they've done. And off the back of that, they accepted, my daughter's happy. We will be happy as long as she's okay. We're okay. And that's what they always say. So yeah, that was my parents.
I love how you talk about, there's Christian values, there's cultural values, but then
Mm,
there's family values, right?
that's right.
Um,
Yeah.
that's so beautiful to come back to.
Yeah.
And talking about like, I guess, people's opinions on situations. How have you found, just in society, with you being
Mm.
LGBTQIA plus, being in that community, and then also being in the plus size community? How have you found it? Was there backlash? Like, how you found it online with the work that you do?
The online presence surprisingly has been amazing. It's very supportive. I think the safe space in Oriana Plus Size, it's giving positivity, like whether you're colored, whether you're plus size, whether you're skinny, whether you're straight, there's room for everyone. It's all about inclusion. And that's what I think Oriana Plus Size really gates is, the value of acceptance, a safe space, and inclusion. Um, surprisingly, actually, I'm not surprised. Like, even with the fat phobic comments, there's probably been like maybe 3 people that have really come through and been like, "Oh, you're fat," or like, those fat phobic comments. But no one's come through and been like, "Oh, you're going to hell," or anything because I'm with a woman. And that's, I think, the biggest drive to show people that it's okay. Let's normalize it. Yes, I'm Pacifica, and yes, I'm with a woman, and yes, I'm a plus size. Let's celebrate that, man. Life's so short to be judgmental. What are you going to do? Sit behind your phone and just throw rubbish comments at me that's probably going to be ignored, or the Oriana Plus Size people are just going to come at you. Like, I've seen it happen. It'll happen again. But yeah, that's the vibe. That is the vibe at Oriana Plus Size.
I think you attract your people as well, like because you're light, everything that you do is just amazing. Your online presence and everything like that.
Mm.
So it's you attract these amazing people that come into your community and come into
Oh,
size.
thank you.
Um, what's a Polynesian stereotype that you want to stop?
Um, from a personal experience, I want to stop that Polynesians are thieves. So I say that because we've probably, a lot of people have probably experienced going into a shop and being followed a lot by the cashier or whatever, just, really on your back, breathing down your neck, making sure that you're not going to steal anything, because that's the negative side of, a brown girl in the shop. We got money. I deserve to be in that shop too. I can buy this $600 handbag. I don't need I don't need, what I mean? Like, I don't need that negativity around me and making me feel little because it's either an expensive shop or it's just a chemist. Like I was in a chemist and hunted down. So I hope that answers the question. In terms of, being a brown person and being followed in the shop. That's one stereotype that I want to kind of erase, and that's from just personal experience.
Yeah, true. I didn't even think about that too. Like I was just, when you said, we can be in the shop, I was thinking like, there's so many shops I don't go into because I'm like, oh, they're going to judge me that I don't have money to be in.
Yeah.
Don't even bother to step into those shops. So
it's so true.
now I'm like, oh, true, yeah, I never thought of that.
Yeah. And we definitely deserve to be in that shop. We go in there because we're interested in something, or we want to support a business, or we want to help market the business. We don't go in there to be supervised and surveillance and, can you show me your pockets and, dude.
So this podcast is called Life Lessons with Leash. What's your biggest lesson in life? What's been your biggest lesson in life?
My biggest lesson in life is stay true to yourself. I feel like if you stay true to yourself, you're going to live your best life. By staying true to yourself, you're being honest with yourself. Make yourself a priority. And I don't mean that in a selfish way. I mean that in a way that if you make yourself a priority, you'll never be an option. And when you become an option, you're putting yourself last, or there's other options available. And I think that's really important to everyone, not just women, not just men, not our non-binaries. I really think that by putting yourself, have first, your happiness will flow and it'll be so authentic. And yeah, you'll live your best life once you do that.
Yeah, I feel like you're a blueprint of that as well. Like with what we've kind of discussed today is like you've made yourself a priority, and to just be true with yourself, that you're like, nah, I know me, I know what I stand for, I'm here to make a change, and all of that. So that's amazing.
I definitely think it's not all rainbows and butterflies, Well, I have my bad days as well, but hopefully by checking out Oriana Plus Size and also this podcast, you will find something and take something out of it that's positive and that's going to add value and add a bit of oomph and sparkle to your day. I just want to quickly shout out to Story of My Life, Glenn Foreman. He's got a book out at the moment and it's out now. It's just amazing, giving you tools and resources for your mental health. I've just started that journal, and it's something that if you're looking for something to do in your own time and that bored of the online presence, like really dive into getting the book as well, because it's really helped me as well through my own journey, as well as other resources about self-love and things like that. So it's not all me. I have to pay my respects to everyone out there that's helped my journey too. But yeah.
Speaking about like mental health and being online, because you're online a lot, does that take a lot from you mentally?
Yes, absolutely. Being an online presence does take a toll on my personal life as well. I don't share everything on my social media. There's definitely some things that I keep for me, I keep for my partner, I keep for home. But a lot of it is timing. I've been working 7 days recently and I haven't been able to commit, like the Brown Boss Baddies will now be launching 2023. Lots of collabs and things, because sometimes all those collabs and things like that, they don't pay your rent every week. They don't seem as glamorous as they really are. And that's why I do hold a full-time job. If this does become a full-time opportunity, I would definitely be taking mental breaks as well, because I definitely think it's important just to get away from the social media world and just get into mindfulness for yourself.
That is very important. I've been very similar. Like I went on a retreat, and in the 5 days they were like, they'd like you to put your phone away and just focus on, being in the
Yeah.
retreat, being present and everything like that. And the things that came up for me was just like so many things about online, just like trying to get validation or trying to do so much came up. And then being quiet in your mind to actually oh, what about this trauma that I haven't processed? Like so many things were coming up, and I talked about it in one of my recent podcasts, and it was accepting my body was one of the
Yes.
things that came up as well. Like there was just so
Yeah.
many things. So when you turn off your phone, and just get quiet with yourself, there's so many benefits from that, and going back to your mindset, working on your mental health.
Absolutely. I'm so proud of you. I love seeing you go on those retreats. I love seeing you interact with the seminars that you attend, and you're just really doing it all, and that's really inspiring as well. And then on the side, you've got your sunnies to sell, so which is incredible. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I want to wrap up with a would you rather.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a few questions here. So would you
Yeah.
rather? Oh wait, this is never post again on TikTok or never post again on Instagram?
Never post again on TikTok.
Really? So you're
Yeah.
an Instagram girl.
I feel like I'm a very Instagram gal.
Yeah. I love TikTok. TikTok's my favorite.
Yes, and you're absolutely huge on TikTok.
I love TikTok so. Would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future?
10 minutes.
I feel like
You
you're
gotta
crazy though. Like
150 years in the future. Sheesh. I know I'm a bit spontaneous, so don't know which way to go for 150 years, but definitely 10 minutes. Keep me on my toes.
yeah. Never go back to. Oh, have you been to Samoa?
Yes,
Yeah.
I used to live there.
Oh, true.
Yeah, I used to live there for probably about 3 years.
Oh, nice. And what was that
Yeah,
like?
it was an eye opener. Like it was reality, like our people back home, like I see why people are ringing families in Australia and New Zealand for money. Like I see the absolute struggle of children on no shoes running around trying to sell like pens and paper for money to put. It's tough. They're doing it really tough in some parts of Samoa. So yeah, it was a real eye opener. I felt that I became more grateful for what I have, and not always. So I need the latest. This I need the biggest house. I need, I myself felt like a spoiled brat being there, and I didn't even come from like a lot of money. So seeing our people out there, seeing my neighbor, just living off the land, making food, beautiful food, just with their bare hands and like an umu out front or a fire, and killing chickens and pigs for right in your backyard to put food on the table for their family, and only earning $2 an hour at times. Like it was unreal. I would love to go back and be able to give back to our community one day. But yeah, it was such a surreal experience.
Crazy. That's so crazy. What made you go back?
Our family got a business or had a business back there with a hotel and a sports bar in Whangalei. So even that's right, quite in the village kind of area. But yeah, I did get to experience going to Velo Paloli in Savai, my granddad's side. And yeah, just out of it, showers outside, it's still a thing, those are our people. Yeah, it's crazy. Because you're Niuean, hey?
Yeah, I'm Niuean Māori.
Niuean Māori. Have you been to Niue?
Yeah, I've been to Niue.
And what was that like?
It's beautiful, but like I feel like even though I'm from Niue, I was still a bit of a tourist. Like I didn't really get to know like how do they actually live, how do like how you're speaking about how much they get paid per hour. Like I couldn't even tell you how much they get paid. But, it's beautiful. I'm very biased in saying that it's the most beautiful island. Yeah, I just love it so much. But I feel like and I always say this, but it might change later down the track because I am getting to more simpler times. So like
Mm.
every time I go there, I'm like, I could never live here. Like, what do you guys do with your life? But now
Yeah.
I'm like, I actually do enjoy peace and quiet and not
Yeah, yeah.
places all the time, and they're island time. Like they don't look at the time.
Mm.
Like and everyone, it's so small. Everybody knows everyone. Everyone looks out
Yeah.
for everyone. So yeah, it's real beautiful there. But I've been to Samoa as well. I went for one of my friends. She had her 21st there.
Yeah.
And
Oh
I
wow.
loved it. I loved it so much. We were in.
Oh
I couldn't even tell you where we were, but yeah, we showered outside and all that. Like it was
yeah.
only cold water.
Yeah.
We loved, and then we went to Savai'i as well on the
Yeah.
boat, and it took like.
Yeah, on the boat. Yeah. Were you
But I
sitting on the
still
floor?
felt we were quite touristy as well because they looked after us so well. And
Yeah.
yeah,
No, it's so good. Yes, Samoa's definitely a beautiful country, but there's that side that, really want to help out, and I don't know how else to help but actually go over there and give back to the community in our country.
change. I don't know how they get paid. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, look, I lived there back in 2010. So it was a long time ago.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I'm pretty sure there's some great changes out there now. A lot more buildings, better facilities,
yeah.
and also for far more.
Oh, how beautiful!
Thank
Like, can
God,
we just talk
baby.
about that for a minute? Like just the parades and everything. I like that. I watched the game the other night, and I was actually sobbing. Like I was like, this is so
Oh my
beautiful
gosh.
to see, and everyone.
Yeah.
And one thing that I've noticed, in not even like in Melbourne, because I'm in Melbourne, but
Mm.
like we've just like I say but I'm not Samoan, but a part of the Polynesian culture.
Yes, that's
We coming
right.
up with these parades, and people are doing like taualungas and the haka and all these kinds of
Yeah.
things. And I'm like, look how resourceful all of you guys are. Like they've got trucks coming and
Yeah.
doing all these things, and they've got DJs, and then we were doing these business stalls, and I was like,
Yeah.
look at this, like. We're freaking amazing. Like just
Yeah.
how you've just put it together so last minute as well, and
Yeah.
it's been so cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are everywhere.
Yeah,
We're in Dubai, we're in France, we're in Romania, we are in England, we are everywhere. So it's so good to see the support of the, Tour More supporters, bringing out flags. A lot of people have been really creative because there's no flag to be found in the shop. So making flags out of bandanas, even on the phone. It's been insane. It's such a big win for Samoa and also the, Pacific Islanders as well, the community. Um, Again, that for me comes down to representation. There is bound to be young kids, wanting to be in the Tour Samoa team in the future. And that goes the same with the Black Ferns as well. That has been absolutely hectic and such a big win for New Zealand and also women. Like, it's been an emotional weekend watching sport. Both women. Who would have thought women's rugby would be even televised, yet hosted back home, and then winning the whole World Cup. Like, it's such a positive movement for New Zealand and also women. Like,
yeah,
gosh, it just makes me like, oh, it's crazy. But with the supporters for the Tour Samoa, I really want to see moving forward that same energy for other sports, for other people. Like, we've got Queen Kong coming to, we've got Queen Kong coming to Perth, WA, and I lost my shit this morning when she even messaged. And I know that she's one of your ambassadors for So Extra. Hey?
I met her at the Lash Fix ball. Um, and she was incredible. Like she just casually like, "Hey, do you watch RuPaul's Drag Race?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I'm gonna be on it," and I was just like, "What?" Like I was, this is crazy. And then I watched, and I was like, "You are incredible!" Like every time, I'm like, "I cannot believe this is happening." Like you
Yeah,
just the mahi that she is doing in that community as well is
yeah.
crazy.
That's right. And again, representation is absolute key. And that's such a great example to everyone, because when I was younger, I never saw a big brown girl on TV. Like I was following Spice Girls, I was following Backstreet Boys and Hanson and, all those pop kind of Destiny's Child gigs. But I never saw the likes of Lizzo back in my day, back in the 80s, back in the early 90s. So, um, representation is absolute key. And I'm doing this for the young Samoan, the young Polynesian chubby girls that don't see anything online that looks like them that they can kind of resemble. So yeah, representation is key.
That is right. Have you watched Lizzo's Watch Out for the Big Girls?
Watch out for the big girls. Look, I didn't watch the whole season, but I did watch bits of it on TikTok. Like, sure.
I love it so much. That was a part of my journey to coming to body acceptance as well.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, cool, like just being like, because I binged it and I was just like full in it, like I was tunnel vision, just like, look at these women, they're so beautiful, look at what they're doing, and then I was like, wait, that's me, like I'm represented there, like I look like that, like my stretch marks and my tummy marks, all of these,
that's
and
right.
like, oh my gosh, I'm beautiful too, like,
yeah.
And then coming out and seeing society and being like, oh, like they're just totally different worlds, but it made me think like, oh, I need to talk about it more. Representation, right? I need to speak up about it now that I've kind of worked through it. I can help so many other people.
And it's a feeling that you have, right? Like a feeling of, oh my gosh, I'm not the only one that looks like this. Like, oh my gosh, I am beautiful.
Yeah.
And that shows because look at all these beautiful women on Lizzo's show. Like, that's something that we need to continue, like domino effect. Domino effect of our people, and yeah, it'll just spread like wildfire. Because God, I just remember like there was a job, flight attendant job that I had come across back when I was living in Wellington, and you had to be a certain height, and you had to be a certain weight, and you had to be a certain like your hair and all that. I don't know if that's still valid now, but it was just like, yeah, that made me want to be like a flight attendant too, but a fat one. But I don't know who would accept me. But it's just like, oh my god, I've been declined from modeling gigs because I'm too short. Like, and it's like, well, what about the short girls?
Yeah.
What about the short chubby girls? Like, who's going to represent us?
True. Yeah.
So yeah, very important.
Yeah, flight attending is. I think it depends who you work for as well. Like I've heard, like some of the Asian companies, they just have like a one size uniform, and if you don't fit in it, you can't be a part of it, kind of thing. I worked for Qantas. Qantas was quite good. It was more so like other people like that. I'd be like, I'm a flight attendant. They're like, oh, can you be fat and be a flight attendant?
Yeah.
Sorry,
oh like, gosh,
yeah, like just straight up, and I'm like, excuse me, like because a lot of people see is it like this glamorous, like, but you can still
tall, skinny. Yeah, I get you. Oh my gosh. And that's a massive journey for you too, giving up your dream job, or not giving up your dream job, having your dream job cut.
Yeah.
Gosh, that was massive. But look at you now, absolutely thriving.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, like, it's been like the best thing that happened, right? At the end of the day, you turn that trauma into your triumph.
That's it.
Power.
Your blessing in disguise.
Yeah, it's been so good. I think we were doing Would You Rather. I was like, what are we talking about? Two more questions.
Okay.
You gotta get back. Never do a photo shoot again, or never go to the gym again?
Never go to the gym again. Oh.
Like looking at your Instagram, and I was like, where are the two main places that she's in?
Yeah, I'm either eating.
And then
I do photo shoots forever. Maybe not forever, but the gym is the gym. Like, gosh, you can be creative and fill up your milk bottles and do it outside, or go for a walk, which I really enjoy. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I saw you sharing about how you did a lingerie photo shoot and how like that's not really something we, I guess, in Polynesian culture, like for me growing up, like we were very conservative. Like I
mm,
still kind of I don't show much. If anything, I probably show my legs the most.
yeah,
But like into like I would not wear like a low top. I like that look though, so it's like just trying to overcome that because I've been
yeah,
told so much to cover up.
yeah,
There's men around, cover yourself up. That's not good.
yeah.
So how was that when you did that lingerie shoot?
It was absolutely liberating. I was shaking in my bones before I even booked a photo shoot, but I knew I had to do it for myself. Like there was one thing being Polynesian, and there was another thing being, plus size. Like my biggest drive for that was that you don't have to be skinny to be in lingerie. Like you see in magazines or ads or on Instagram ads or whatever. It's just a lot of smaller, skinnier people being promoted for like lingerie. But girl, I want to feel sexy too. I want to bring sexy back.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, some shops weren't catering to 5XL, but that's all part of the drive. It was just such a moment for me, and it wasn't for anyone else but myself, just to kind of prove that I can do this. I can help others feel and do the same. But again, like you said, with the Polynesian culture being really conservative, being real, cover up and things like that. This was more coming from a body positivity, self love place, and to identify who you really are. Yes, you're Polynesian as well, but who are you within yourself?
Yeah, true. Okay, last one is, would you rather do a chehu every time you meet someone new or tawalunga for them?
Maybe the Taurunga,
Yeah?
because the Kyususu, the Chihu is freaking all of you. Like it's a
Yeah,
lot. It's draining. I'm being asleep by my third one. Like, gosh, it is quite full on.
to give it all that mana as well.
Yeah, you can't just go like, Piku, like, oh, obviously my throat's sore from screaming all weekend for the stuff I'm on Blackberries, but yeah, it does. I'm still recovering. It does take a lot.
Nice. Well, that's it. That's all the questions. I just want
Yeah,
to say thank you again so much for replying to me, for coming on, for giving us your amazing vibes, for sharing your story, for doing all the amazing things that you do for women, for plus size women, for the
yeah.
LGBTQIA plus community. Yeah, you're an inspiration. You're amazing, and I love to see your mahi.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been an absolute honor and such a vibe being here with you. I couldn't say no. It was a no-brainer for me. Like, girl, I'm not feeling the best, but girl, I'm here. I'm here for you and everything you stand for. Shout out to your partner as well for, the business that you guys are doing and the vibe that you're just giving out is just absolutely amazing. And I can't speak enough of it because I love it. I love you guys. Thanks again for having me. Shout out to my beautiful partner, Trish, who's going to be listening. And yeah, I love it.